Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and welcome back to another feature preview. If you don't know what feature previews are, they are a weekly series I run on my channel where I show you features that are going to be included within the next big update for Minecraft Xbox and Minecraft PlayStation. Whether that next big update is going to be called Tile Update 25, 26, or 27, we don't entirely know. What we do know is it's at the very least going to include features from the 1.7 update on the PC, and this is pretty useful to us because it means using PC gameplay, we can get a preview of the features that are going to be included. And I've shown you most of the bigger features included in this update already, like the new biomes, like the new fish that are going to be coming, like the bigger Nether portals, but there's also a lot of smaller features coming in this update that I'd like to show, because until we have 1.8 officially confirmed as being in this update, I want to just finish showing off all the 1.7 features before we go on to that. And of those 1.7 features, there is a lot of really small ones that I don't think are worth a video, but they're definitely together are worth one, and that's what I'm doing today. So please do like the video if you do like it. It helps out the channel a lot, and it lets me know that you did like it. And let's get straight into this with our very first little feature that is kind of cool, and that a lot of people think currently exists in the console, but that unfortunately does not. I triple-checked just to make sure that I'm not being crazy, and that is Cauldrons being able to put you out from being on fire. So, if you don't know what I mean by this, basically, if you're on fire in Minecraft... Oh, wait, I just did that wrong. If you're in fire in Minecraft, and you jump into a cauldron filled with water, it will actually put you out, and it will, take a little bit of water from there. So that's a pro tip you can use in real life. If you're ever on fire, just jump in a water-filled cauldron. That's my tip for life anyway. But yeah, so basically the way this works is it means, some of the water evaporates to put you out, and it's really cool because you can take these to the Nether, and it helps you with blazes and all the other, fiery things in the Nether. And yeah, it's a really cool thing. Unfortunately, it's not on the console right now, but this next update will bring it in, and I think that's a pretty swell feature. So one feature out of the 10 or so we'll be showing off today. The second one is actually a change in the way Sugarcane is colored, because basically right now Sugarcane is the same in any biome, but with this new update, I like how grass changes from biome to biome. Like in a snow biome, it's got this slightly dark tone. In a plains biome, it's got this really this Minecraft tone we all know and love, and yeah, it just changes from biome to biome basically. In the same way, Sugarcane will actually change too. So if you look over here, this is a, this is an ice spikes biome, but it's basically a cold biome, which means if you look here, you can see the Sugarcane is a very darkened color, to kind of fit the theme. Whereas if we go to a plains biome, which is, one of the most traditional ones, you get a very close to the normal color of a Sugarcane thing right here. And in a desert, it's a different color, and then in a more tropical biome, it'll also be very, different. And that's the cool thing here. There's, multiple different colors of Sugarcane, and that's one of the things they did this update, just to make it feel different in each biome. And it means that if you do have a sugarcane farm running across multiple biomes, you'll see a subtle change as it goes across them, and I think that's always something cool to look at. So sugarcane changes are one of the things coming in this update. I think they're kind of cool, and as someone who likes sugarcane, that's something I really like, of course. Next up, we've got the stained glass, and the stained glass by itself is a feature I have shown off in a feature preview, but being able to see glass through glass, ice through ice, and water through water is something that is new to this update. So previously, if you had ice, you could and you in front of some water, you wouldn't be able to see the water behind it. Previously, if you had glass behind glass, you just wouldn't be able to see anything. Now, if you look through glass, you can actually see glass, and it works more than one layer deep. So I can actually see through this green glass. There is pink glass over there, just through there, and then on the right there, through that, you can see there's some green glass just over the corner there. So that's a pretty cool little piece of functionality. It means that you don't have to have the really confusing just void where stuff goes missing, but it does mean there's a few building glitches that you can't really abuse anymore. But for the most part, this is a net positive change. It's pretty cool in my opinion. So next up, we have one that is slightly confusing here. Let's throw away the bucket for a second, because also it's not going to let me do it, but unless I get rid of this thing on the horse. But basically, you can actually now sprint on horses, and you get a very slight speed boost. I have a pretty slow horse, so it's hard to see. But with this update, you will get the ability to actually sprint on horses, which is pretty cool, of course. And of course, on PC, it's a lot trickier than it will be on console. And it gives you the tiniest of speed boosts, but it's still a nice little thing you can do. If you want to sprint to go that little bit extra faster, you can. Also, this horse is just terrible. Like it is just so awful. But yeah, that's one of the other cool things coming in this update. Slightly, sprinting on horses, which is always nice, of course. Next up, we have one that is great for builders, and although I don't do as much building as a lot of people, I do still think it's pretty cool, because right now, glass panes and iron bars don't connect at all, besides vertically. With this update, they will connect, so as you can see, the iron bars are going to go to the left here, and they're going to actually just be straight here with the glass panes, same up there, and it means that you can have like half, iron bars, half window, and you can make like a cool thing with that. In addition to just, being able to connect together, which is kind of cool in itself, I think, there's also the fact that you can actually, they're actually slightly wider now. So you'll see that it's 2 pixels wide now, which is, I don't know, it looks slightly cooler, slightly thicker, and slightly more real. Because right now, glass panes just don't look real at all to me on the console. I don't know what it is, but there's just something that doesn't appeal to me about stained glass, and just glass panes, and now that has been fixed. So big plus right there. Also, do you see that chicken just like magically glitch from over there? I don't know what that's about, but that chicken is clearly not doing something right. But anyway, let's move on to the other features, which are going to involve us going into creative. So we are going to use a command to do this, game mode 1. Which is something I wish would come to consoles, but I really don't think it will be, besides maybe through command blocks. And yeah, we're going to go to creative. So the creative menu on PC has always been different, of course. One of the changes that happened was this tab changed to a peony, not that that matters on the console, but in this particular tab, there is 5 new blocks that we don't have on console, or 4 new ones, sorry, because we do have 2. Basically, on the console right now, we have 2 types of monster egg, and if you want to know what a monster egg is, it is the block that when you break it, a silverfish comes out, except not in creative, apparently. But yeah, if you break it in survival, a silverfish will come out, and it's really cool because, you know, they're blocks that mean the strongholds aren't always as easy as they seem. Now, with this update, they've made 6 variants of it instead of just a couple, and some of them have ridiculous names like chiseled stone brick monster egg, but you know, that's just such a long name. But yeah, there is now 6 variants of monster egg, which is pretty cool if you're doing something with creative, because I don't believe this type here can naturally spawn at all. But you know, more blocks with creative is always great, especially if you're building maps. That particular block I don't see coming into play too often, but maybe it would do. And let's move on to another one which I think is really cool, even though in survival it's not too useful, and that is the fact that if you place a creeper, so bear in mind, I'm in creative. If I punch the creeper, he doesn't care. He can't explode because it's creative. But if you have a flint and steel on you, what you can actually do is you can automatically detonate the creeper. And as you can see there, just detonate him right there. And it means that, one, if you're in creative, now you can detonate creepers if you want to like test their explosion ranges. So you want to be like, okay, if I box this creeper in, is he going to destroy the boxes? You can now test that in creative, which is something that can be useful for some people. As you can see, that's the proof that it is a monster egg right there. Also, shaking the screen really hurt my eyes right there. But yeah, basically, now you can actually blow up creepers. I think this is a really cool thing to do because, also my voice is getting slightly hoarse, but this is a really cool thing to do because, basically, oh, there's a creeper over there too. Basically, in survival, if you're like somewhere away from the creeper, you just want to blow it up and get rid of it. You can be like, okay, go over there, make him blow up, and then sprint away, and you can actually survive it quite a lot of the time. Because once they start to explode, their ability to chase you is slightly diminished, and it means that if you just want to get them to explode, you want to blow up something they're at right now. So let's say that there's a big wall over here that you don't want to use TNT on, you just want to, use creepers, then you can make them explode like this. Just a few options like that. That it's risky in survival, and it's mostly a creative thing, but it is still pretty cool regardless. So, yeah, let's move on to the next list of changes, which are more technical ones that I wanted to talk about, that, don't show up too much in the game, and let's talk about them now. So, the first of these technical changes I wanted to talk about is one that's kind of cool and that the music isn't playing too much right now, but is pretty cool, and that is that basically the music will now stop if you go into the pause menu. So it means that if you're like pausing because the game's being too loud and you're like, this is loud, you pause it, the music stops, which is pretty cool. So again, there's no music actually playing right now in the background, but if there was, pressing start would do that. By the way, I much prefer the console start menu screens, the PC one. Like, this is PC, by the way, just in case there's the people that are like, haha, I see your mouse, this must be PC. But yeah, this is the Minecraft PC menu screen I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, it does actually pause the game after this update. They've also changed the lighting engine, so let's just change the time. They've also changed the lighting engine bit, which improves it quite a bit. So right now, even though they've misread the lighting engine like a million times, this next update improves it even more, means that they're going to have even less black spots that are just, randomly dark for no reason. And it also has a really cool change to thunderstorms. So thunderstorms, if you don't know, are when, not only is it raining, not only is that happening, but there's thunder happening. It's a pretty rare event. But now, after this update, it makes it so the sky will go black with it. It makes it so that, it's a lot darker, and that mobs will just be able to spawn everywhere. It's really, really cool, really, really crazy, and I think that's cool. They've also made a big change to the network code behind the scenes, so right now, on the console, the network code is very different to the PC, but they made a few big changes to the PC network code, which makes handshakes a lot simpler. It basically means that, actually, being able to connect with players is a lot easier, which is always great. So that's a pretty nice change. I don't know how much of that can come to console, but any connectivity problems on any connectivity fixes on console are welcome, because we've had a little bit of a buggy, multiplayer system for the longest time, and they've made a temperature system for the biomes. So basically, right now, on the console. If it snows somewhere, it snows there. There's no, it's not based on the height at all. However, there's a new temperature system, which means it only snows if the temperature goes below a certain temperature. So in a biome like the ice, spikes, for instance, it's always going to be snowing if it's raining elsewhere. But in biomes like the extreme hills, it won't snow at the base, but as you go higher and higher, there's a certain level you get to. Let's just magically say it's up here, where it will just start snowing, and that's a really cool thing in my opinion. Not only because it means that you can get snow in more biomes, which is of course pretty cool, but it also gives that realistic effect to the really crazy extreme hills, especially if amplified on, because it means there's a certain height where you're like, whoa, we really are pretty tall up. So yeah, that's a cool thing. Technically any biome can have snow in it, but only realistically some of them can. Still a nice change though. Next up, we have the fact that they have actually made it so the caverns are much less dense and much less connected. So right now, if you go into a cavern, it's almost a guaranteed thing that it's going to be connected to a million other caverns. Also, you can see the squid through the ice a little bit. That's kind of crazy, but I get so distracted it seems. But basically, they made it so the caverns are less connected, which is a pretty good change in general. Because right now, a cave will lead into a million other caves, and that is kind of cool. But it doesn't feel rare. It just feels like the way caves work. And I think the new cave system on PC is a bit better. So yeah, that is all. Oh wait. One more change. This isn't one that I think is going to be on the console. But basically, if you go to the options menu, they added these super secret settings, which will always do something really ridiculous to you. So this time it gave me like this really filmy, like kind of graininess to the thing. They probably won't be coming to console. They might be. I'm doubtful. But it is still a cool enough idea. Maybe I just don't see how they would be coming to console. But look, it's just so wacky to see all these settings, and if you look, you're like, what's happened? Is this Minecraft on drugs? This isn't Minecraft on drugs. This is just the super secret settings. So, yeah, I actually do quite like some of them. This one in particular, like, I could see myself getting used to this. It's like you're in a really big city, and like everything's just light in the distance. But yeah, I'm going to turn these off before I get sick and die. No one wants that to happen. The final change I want to talk about. Oh, this is still a secret setting. Or maybe it's not, and I'm just not used to this anymore. But everything looks a lot sharper than it should be. Like, look in the distance. Anyway, I'm getting so distracted by all these cool things. The one final thing I wanted to mention, this is a very technical change that doesn't affect you in any way. That is the fact that all the blocks that aren't blocks on PC, so all the blocks from up there to there, right now they're technically treated as absence of blocks. At least on the PC they were. On the console, I think they currently are air blocks, but on the PC they changed them to be air blocks. So this block here, above this leaf block, is an air block. I can't do anything to it, but technically speaking it is, and that means a few small changes to the way the game works, some few optimization changes, and just in general a better system. So yeah, a lot of big changes. The cooler ones, in my opinion, are the Sugarcane, the Cauldron, the being able to light creepers on fire, as well as the temperatures and the thunderstorms. But there is also a lot of other smaller changes. If you're a builder, I'm sure you'll appreciate stuff like this and this a lot more. Let me know what your favorite one of these features is in the comments down below. I'd very much appreciate it. I think I have to leave this now because I'm getting really suspicious that there's super secret settings on, and I can't even be sure if that's how that's meant to look. Also, let me know if this is how this is meant to look or not. That'd help me out a lot. And also, share it if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I do videos every single day that if you play Minecraft console, I'm sure you'll enjoy. And I can't really do any more feature previews until we get confirmation on the 1.8 stuff. But, until then, I will just, keep talking about stuff, keep covering up the news, and, covering the news. I'm not covering it up. I assure you. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.